There is the petitionary prayer model, and there is the word of command model. The Jesus pattern was the word of command. I gave a few examples of the practice of the word of command. Now let's talk about a kingdom secret I have learned in this practice. I am convinced that we have more authority than we realize. We just do not use it. When Jesus gave the authority and commission to do the word and the works of the kingdom, you should notice that he did not tell us to pray for healing. Reread Matthew 10, 7 and 8. Reread it very slowly and deliberately. Do not take my word for it. Go look it up. Jesus instructed his disciples, and by implication to all of us, to heal the sick. You raise the dead. You cleanse the lepers. You cast out demons. Jesus did not instruct us to ask him to do it, rather that we are the ones who get to do the healing. I realize this is both controversial and uncomfortable, but you get the point. You have the authority in the presence of the Holy Spirit to speak healing. I realize it's a dangerous method to offer a formula for prayer. Jesus longs to walk with us in intimacy as friends, but here is a secret. Wait for the presence of the Holy Spirit. I typically voice, "Come Holy Spirit." But please understand, these words are not magic. My intent is not to teach you some kind of abracadabra or hocus pocus. The thing is to wait upon the King's presence. When I sense the Holy Spirit is present either upon me or upon the person, then I speak to the healing. I get to speak healing. The hardest part in the early days was to wait. There is this unfortunate tendency to get anxious and start saying a lot of words. Resist the temptation. Do not give in to the silent. The key is to just wait. Read again Acts 1:8. You shall receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and you shall be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the uttermost parts of the earth. Now let me ask you this. What comes first, the waiting part or the witness part? Most of us tend to get the sequence in reverse. We emphasize the role of being a witness first in hopes that the power will follow. But Jesus instructs us to wait for the power of the Holy Spirit to come. Put yourself in a position where you need the Holy Spirit to show up. Invite the Holy Spirit to come, then wait. That is the most difficult part, the waiting. Just wait. And when the Holy Spirit comes, as he will, then speak the healing. Read again Genesis 1 through 3. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was moving over the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Now what came first? The movement of the Spirit upon the face of the deep, or the Creator's voice, "Let there be light"? Read it again. Soak it in. The presence of the Holy Spirit came first. Here is the best part. You do not have to work up the moment. You do not have to get emotional. Remember some of the stories that I tell. Remember that I simply wait for the presence of the Lord, and when the presence of the Lord is evident, then I speak to the healing. The key is to wait for evidence of the Spirit. You have the spiritual DNA within you to desire the manifestation of spiritual signs and wonders. Do not forget to write down your stories. Why not start writing down your stories now? Get ready to start a journal. Your stories will be awesome. Well, one more story. The housekeeper came into my office as was part of her routine, and she had a wad of cotton stuck in her ear. And I asked, "What's the matter with you? Do you have an earache?" She replied, "No, I have an infected tooth, and I went to the dentist and he gave me some medication." And I continued, "May I pray for you?" She said, "Okay." And I said, "You know that I pray a little different," so I voiced out loud, "Come Holy Spirit," and waited. After a little while, she started to say something, but I said, No, just wait." And then I asked, "Do you feel anything?" She replied, "No," but I continued to wait just a little bit longer. And then I asked, "Is anything happening now?" And she said, "Yes, I feel tingly. I feel electricity." And I said, "Good." That was my response. "Now we can pray. I dismiss the pain in your tooth, and I command the infection to leave. I speak wholeness to your tooth." She interrupted by saying, "I can hear." And I said, "You can hear? I thought I was praying for your tooth." I could not help but laugh. Well, the way that the Lord does things is surprising. My point to you is, invite the presence of the Lord. Wait for a manifestation of His presence, either on you or on the other person. And when the Spirit is present, then speak the healing. Your stories are going to be awesome.